Welcome back to Kawasaki vs X300 Rides Europe. In this episode I ride from Albania through Montenegro and Croatia. Before reaching Montenegro I had a quick peek at the Lakes Kotor. It was just for a break and I didn't want to lose too much time before the border crossing. So I went to a city called Široka and enjoyed the sun sitting at the lake before I rode to the border to Sukobin, Montenegro. The border crossing itself was more than fine. There haven't been any queues that day, and within about 15 minutes I was allowed to ride through it, or however you would call this kind of passing. So welcome to Montenegro in spring. Of course my ride didn't stop at the border. I had 2 more hours to go to arrive in an apartment close to Kotor. Unfortunately the weather changed and that grey sky left me with some rain. I took my rain gear and enjoyed the views. Finally, I made it to Dubrovnik and got rewarded with this gorgeous sea panorama from my private balcony. Due to the weather, there was no chance to take some off-road streets at that time. Most of the off-road trails, like the TED, are further up in the mountains, and the combination of snow, rain, and lots of wind made me stay closer to the sea. So I went to ride the Kotor Serpentine, which is one of the most famous hairpin roads in the world. Within 8 kilometers, you'll be provided 16 hairpin turns and an altitude difference of about 420 meters. If you're interested in the whole ride, check out my video in the description. A little less high but also impressive are the hikes around Kotor. Get ready for the scenic views of the Bay of Kotor and advanced paths. In case you lost your trail, you can always be led by some friendly goats. Kotor itself is a lovely small coastal town with numerous medieval architectures. Narrow streets, the city wall, and tons of stairs characterize the city and bring hundreds of thousands of tourists each year. Whilst being close to Tivat, of course I also wanted to see the Monaco of Montenegro. I took the charming coastal road from Kotor to Tivat, which is only about 40 minutes. It felt less like riding next to a sea, but more to a lake or a big riverbed. Not many cars take that street since it's only a small one, so you can just go slowly and soak up those mountain and sea views. They remain on your right until you arrive in Tivat, one of the cleanest cities I've seen so far, with a nice promenade. After a few days of sunshine and warmth, the weather changed again, and this might have been the first time I loved the rain since I have entered Montenegro. It didn't take long until thunder wanted to join. It got that heavy it caused some power cuts, but for me that amazing sound was totally worth it. This area is a nature spectacle, not only when there's rain and thunder, but just every day. It was time to continue my journey. I rode the coastal street from Kotor to Herceg-Novi in the best summer weather you can wish for being on a motorcycle. From there it was only 1 more hour until my next stop in Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is known for its old town, Baroque buildings and of course the ancient city walls. Although 35 euros are very expensive to walk the walls, being a Game of Thrones fan and interested into seeing new things, I hate to say, but I had to pay it. I didn't plan to stay much longer in Dubrovnik. Seeing the panoramic views from the ramparts, some beaches, and the inner part of the city was enough for me at the time. So I went off to ride through Split and Zadar and eventually reached the area of the Plitvice National Park. Close to the border to Bosnia-Herzegovina is the former top-secret place of Yugoslavia, the abandoned biggest military underground airbase in Celjava. I used that free space not only to discover, but also to see how fast my cover can go with Scorpion STR tires. Of course, I also went to the Plitvice National Park afterwards. I have decided to walk the sea trails, which is supposed to take about 4 to 5 hours and includes the scenic boat and train. Are you happy to see more about Europe? In my next video, I will ride through Slovenia, Italy, and France. See you soon.